Hello class, how are you people doing? I hope you are going through the videos that we are sending. Okay, so let's continue with our previous chapter, that is seed structure and germination. We have already completed the structure portion. We are into the last topic, that is germination. In our previous class we have discussed about the experiment related to condition favoring the germination. Today we will be discussing about the types of germination. Now there are two types of germination, your hypogeal germination and epigeal germination. Now before going on to this hypogeal types of germination, I want you to be clear with four terms, that is hypocotyle, epicotyle, hypogeal and epigeal. Okay, now hypo, the term hypo means low, okay, and the term epi means above. Okay, cotyle refers to cotyledon. Cotyle refers to cotyledon. So hypocotyle, it's a region in between your cotyledon, just below your cotyledon. The region below your cotyledon linking you to your radicle is known as hypocotyle region. Okay, hypo means low, that's why it's below the cotyledon, right? So the axis below the cotyledon linking you to the radicle is known as hypocotyle. Epicotyle. Epicotyle, epi means above, obviously, so above the cotyledon. So the axis between the plumule and the cotyledon is known as epicotyle. That region is known as epicotyle. Okay, the region between your plumule and your cotyledon is known as epicotyle. Okay, so this way you break the term and it would be easier for you to understand while we will be taking the consideration of hypogeal germination and epigeal germination and understanding it in detail. Okay, understood what is hypocotyle and what is epicotyle. Now let's move on to hypogeal and epigeal. Hypo means low, geal is derived from the word geo, earth. Epi means above, geal is derived from the word geo, means earth. Okay, now in case of hypogeal germination, your cotyledon lies on the ground. Okay, your cotyledon, it lies on the ground in case of hypogeal germination. And in case of epigeal germination, epi means above the ground, that means your cotyledon rises above the ground. Okay, next we will be taking the example of both hypogeal germination and epigeal germination and study it in detail. Okay, before going through that, I want you to get clear with these four terms, because these four terms might be confusing. Okay, so we better go through these four terms, then we will be going through the types of germination now. Okay, now let us look at the diagram that's given there and understand the term epicotyle and hypocotyle much in detail. Now if you look at the diagram there, this one is referring to your cotyledon. Okay, so the region above the cotyledon, okay, is known as epicotyle. It's a region between your plumule and your cotyledon. It's called epicotyle. And if you see the region below your cotyledon, it is referred to as your hypocotyle. Okay, I hope it's clear now, the difference between epicotyle and hypocotyle. Now let's move on to the types of germination. First we will be discussing about hypogeal germination. We would be taking green pea as a model of study. Okay, green pea is a dicot seed. Okay, now look at the figure that's given alongside properly. Okay, now This one is your seed. It receives the water through the micropyle. Seed have a seed coat. The outermost one is known as testa. So your radicle breaks upon the testa and then emerges outward and forms a root system, right? Similarly, your plumule comes out and forms elongates itself. Now look at this diagram properly. You can see the plumule has elongated and arched itself outside the ground, right? Now plumule has not yet separated itself from the first leaf, that is in order to protect the young shoot that's coming after it, so that it does not get disrupted when it's moving out of the soil. Okay, so you have now, if you look at that diagram properly, your plumule has already extended outside the soil, but your cotyledon is still there on the ground, that means on the soil, inside the soil. So this kind of germination is known as hypogeal germination. I told you to break the term, right? Hypo means low, geal is derived from the word geo, that is earth. So your cotyledon is lying into the soil, that's why it's referred to as hypogeal germination. I hope it's clear. Okay, in case of hypogeal germination, your cotyledon lies inside the soil or into the ground itself. Okay, now next, coming on to other example of hypogeal germination, that is maize grain. I told you maize grain, why is it called grain? Because its fruit wall and seed coat is fused together. We are taking the monocot because it has only one cotyledon. Here also your radicle, I told you it has a protective covering outside, right? What is called, that is called coleorhiza. It emerges, breaks that open. Obviously water enters and then the swelling of the seed takes place. Okay, the seed coat is softened and your radicle going through your coleorhiza goes into the ground, forming a root system. But the primary root of your maize, in case of maize, degenerates initially only. Okay, and from the base of the stem it gives rise to a adventitious root or fibrous root. It doesn't have one strong root, it has a cluster of root. Okay, that's referred to as a fibrous root. Okay, and your plumule has an outer covering called coleoptile, right? So it also breaks that open and then emerges out of the soil. Okay, your plumule too. Now if you look at the cotyledon, where is it? It's still on the ground. It's still on the ground. Okay, and later on when the seedling arises and then mature plant, it further converts itself into a plant which is independent of itself, your cotyledon degenerates. Okay, so you can see here also that your cotyledon is lying below the ground itself. Okay, it's not coming out of the ground. That's why this type of germination is also known as hypogeal germination. Okay, now next, moving on to epigeal germination, we are taking the example of bean. Bean, it's a dicot seed, right? Similarly, in case of dicot seed also, in case of bean also, you can see you have a seed placed there. Now when the water seeps inside through the micropyle, your seed coat softens and then your radicle emerges out. Okay, and then forms a root system. Here what happens is your hypocotyle region elongates and moves out of the soil. Okay, and while moving out of the soil, while elongating, it takes itself, it takes with itself the cotyledon also. Okay, now this cotyledon, you can see it has moved out of the ground, it has raised above the ground. Okay, now cotyledon would represent as a first leaf also. Okay, so you can see in epigeal germination that your hypocotyle region has elongated itself and along with it, it has taken the cotyledon also with itself. That means it is moving above the ground. The cotyledon is moving along above the ground. Later on, when this further matures, this plant further matures and is independent of its existence, this cotyledon degenerates or shrivels out. Okay. Now, one thing to be noted, your epicotyle region and hypocotyle region do not elongate at a time. If hypocotyle is elongating, your epicotyle does not elongate, and if your epicotyle is elongating, your hypocotyle does not elongate. Okay, so that's all about epigale germination. If you break the term itself, everything would be clear to you. Okay. Now next, moving on to viviparous germination. Now it's a germination. What happens usually? What happens in only after the seed comes out of the fruit, the germination is going to take place, right? But in case of viviparous germination, what happens is, when the seed is inside the fruit itself, the germination has taken place. Okay, and after the germination has taken place, your fruit wall ruptures and then seed falls out and then give rise to a new plant. But the germination has taken place already inside the fruit. Okay, now that kind of germination is known as your viviparous germination. Okay, now this kind of germination usually takes place in mangrove plant. Mangrove plant are shrubs which generally grows in a saline water which is consisting of more amount of salt. Okay, Sundarban region, you have heard about Sundarban forest, right? In those region you find mangrove trees. One of the example of mangrove trees is Rhizophora, and it shows viviparous germination. Now in case of viviparous, like I told you, the germination of a seed takes place inside the fruit itself. Okay, and afterwards the fruits break open and the seeds fall, and then it gives rise to a new plant. So that kind of germination is known as viviparous germination. So that's all about this chapter, that is seed structure and germination. I will be supporting with you with the material from your exercise. I want you all to go through the book properly for you to understand it in a proper manner. You take the videos as a reference, but you have to go through your books. Okay, and if you have any problem, you can always text. Thank you.